then doing songs with a well-known racist. Like, this shawty had to go to therapy because she was so racist. Like, shawty had to do shadow work, like on some Clockwork Orange. She had to go to meditative retreats because she was so racist. That's crazy. And you doing songs with shawty?
Now, with Drake's career being at the lowest point it has ever been, all due to both the continuous barrage of diss tracks, performances, and music videos from Kendrick Lamar, and also the fact that every song he has released since his beef with Kendrick hasn't just been a musical train wreck in terms of their quality, but that they have also all flopped when it comes to gaining any sort of traction as hits. Things have never looked worse for Drake as his
That Drake effect going down, man. The Drake stimulus package ain't working.
as a musical force has never been weaker, but now, after taking about a month off from releasing music and trying to manipulate the public opinion of hip-hop culture through major figures like DJ Academics and many others to try and portray this image that Drake hasn't just ever been better, but that he has generational music on the way, it's clear that despite how broken down and pathetic Drake's career looks right now, this has not stopped him from trying to change the narrative around his entire legacy at the moment and still try to level the score against Kendrick in any way he can, but as Drake even at this point has probably realized that he cannot defeat Kendrick in a direct lyrical matchup.
Drake is doing whatever he can with the internet games, the PR stunts, the media games, to try to convince the public of what we already know. And it looks even worse now that Kendrick has actually put it to light. You feel me? Because throughout this battle, Kendrick didn't even really beat Drake up. And Drake, he's so arrogant, he can't see that. He's doing exactly what we expected him to do, and he won't change.
Has left him trying to defeat him through a much different method, which for Drake now makes the goal for him to shift the way he is remembered for the rest of this year. And now in the process of doing this, Drake wants to snatch the title of Song of the Summer and probably what will go down as Song of the Year at the current rate in Not Like Us, from Kendrick with a moment of his own that is even more memorable than that track. And now at this point, as Drake is no longer being dragged down by artists who don't have the same hit-making sensibilities and platforms as him like Sexy Red and Camila Cabello, and he is just locked in the studio giving us music where he is now the sole vocalist. The chances
That just proves Kendrick's point. Just look at who he's doing music with. Sexy Red, then doing songs with a well-known racist. Like, this shawty had to go to therapy because she was so racist. Like, shawty had to do shadow work, like on some Clockwork Orange shit. She had to go to fucking meditative retreats because she was so racist. That's crazy. And you doing songs with shawty?
never been greater for Drake to release a hit that can do wonders for his reputation, and being aware that his back is against a wall on some level right now. In response to the pressure, Drake has released not just one, but two brand new tracks that are actively working to diffuse one of the most dangerous and damaging rap songs to another artist's reputation that there ever has been, and in this moment, where Drake is against all odds and it has never really been more important for him to deliver. His two new tracks, which both appear on producer Gordo's new album titled Sideways and Healing, managed to take everything going on with Drake right now and somehow make things even worse, because in this moment,
why does he seem so arrogant? Like, this just goes back to his mindset of just wanting to fit in. Wanting to fit in so bad. Like, if y'all seen the recent video where he got booed in Toronto at the Lil Bizkit concert, this just goes to his ego, where he's not used to being accepted by white people. He's not used to being accepted by black people with the Not Like Us. So he constantly needs attention. He's an only child, right? Didn't fit in, white or black, Jewish, lower middle class, bro. He's desperate for attention. His daddy didn't love him. So that's the reason why he has to put out albums every single year. Not only is he under contract, he needs the attention. He needs the stimulation. Please love me. Please love me. Hey, Jamaica, love me. Houston, Miami, UK, I'll do anything for you to love me. I'll change my accent. I'll change the way I look. I'll go get surgery. I will do anything. Please love me.
Drake is at this point where his entire career is falling apart. He does not lean into the aspects of his artistry that may have made for easy hits, like his pop rap bag, or with the infectious type of melodic rapping that is made up for the other portion of his greatest hits, and instead, Drake leans into the sound of what is without a doubt his most polarizing, and in many people including my own, his worst album, Honestly Nevermind style. And as Drake was already showing that he was going to dive into this sound more as his Camila Cabello collab.
Y'all keep branding this as him being adaptable, versatile. No, he has no identity. This is a reflection of him not having an identity. In every single video, the subconscious can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. Music is frequency in its purest form, so Drake has recorded his entire internal dialogue. It's well documented in his discography, the exact same way R. Kelly is well documented in the discography. So now that we look back at Drake's music, his lyrics, what he's chosen and volunteered to put out, it's nasty. It's nasty.
Already leaning this way. All of this tells us is that the flop of those songs have not taught Drake one thing, because he is now only going deeper into a musical bag that really nobody wants to hear from him, and especially not in this time where Kendrick has really just made it lame to even listen to Drake. And now I will be fair to Drake in one regard. Sideways and Healing are way better than any other tracks he has released since the beef, as Gordo's production is actually pretty well executed here, as he clearly understands how to make great dance and house music sonically. But even with this is nowhere near enough to make an anthem that can compete on the charts and carry a Drake record into cultural relevance during this moment in time, and as there is not one but two tracks that showcase this massive issue with Drake, we see that even after all of his other failures recently, he has still not been able to recognize the reason why his new music is flopping, which seriously has to leave you concerned about the future.
It just goes back to his arrogance. He's so closed off in his own world, he doesn't understand, hey bro, we're not connecting with that. He doesn't understand his social cues. But he is not good at having social connections. Obviously, look at his relationships. Look at the music he makes. Look at what he does to the people he claims he loves. Cheats on them, lies on them, scams them, finances them. His artists, his OVO artists, the I Love McConans, ghostwriters, Lil Wayne, going behind Lil Wayne's back. All the stories of him trying to sleep with other people's girls and all that. Something's going on with his head, and he thinks no one can see him.
Drake's career when it comes to even being a fraction of the commercial force that he once was beyond everything else. As while these tracks are a step up from the incredibly low bar that Drake had set before this does not mean they are even the slightest bit good, because aside from Gordo's solid production, the vocal work from Drake is so generic and complacent that just like on Honestly Nevermind, we hear Drake take one of the most lively and energetic subcultures in all of music, and just morph and crush its spirit with some of the most lazy and tiring performances you can find, and this is really where all of his struggles are coming from. I mean, Drake has purposefully switched to a lane right now where he really doesn't even need to care about lyrics, and everything is just about melodies and vibes, and even with that, it just feels like Drake is not even swinging to try and do anything here other than double down on what has defined what most people call the worst album he has ever released. And with Drake's lack of recognition to this problem, from these songs to the ones before them, as every single new track that comes out from Drake just has less of that magic that made Drake records before this at the very minimum, whether you loved or hated them, viral and infectious moments. Now
I feel like Drake is finally putting out his own music. You feel me? I think his cover is too hot right now. Even after the Quinn Miller shit, even after the Pusha T shit, he was still using ghostwriters. Like, he's already been exposed for Jumbotron popping shit with Lil Yachty. He got exposed for mob ties. I think finally he's got done with the reference tracks. He's finally writing his own shit, and now we're seeing like this is who Drake actually is. Yeah, it's like that the Lizzie McGuire movie. You feel me? At the end when they cut off the old dude's auto-tune and then he started actually singing, you realize he was a horrible singer. Like, bro, that shit is embarrassing, nah.
So lazy and tired with everything he is doing, and not in the way he used to before, when it just felt like he played his music purposefully safe just to keep everything in line to gain the most streams by simply being the most palatable artist out there in his lane. But now it sounds like Drake has genuinely lost the remaining strengths he had, as these songs are just so boring and based on the response people are already giving them. While Drake fans are convincing themselves that he is back and that he is on to better things now that he is done beefing with Kendrick. For everyone else, we are watching an artist struggle to find an identity to exist in. He is plummeting beyond just being a lazy, complacent, or even just for his own standards. An artist whose musical quality is no longer on par with the ceilings they once reached. But now most crucially to the Drake brand, he is becoming an artist that is no longer even entertaining in the slightest. And with this factor of entertainment really being the driving denominator of why Drake has still found success for about the past decade of his career, because we all know that through some of the most ridiculous music he has released, while nobody really thinks it's good, It has always been interesting enough that through the crazy music videos, covers, weird hooks, and lyrics, that overall, with just the pure virality,
It's just that people are starting to wake up. People are starting to see through his BS. You feel me? Especially since his audience starts to get more mature. Like me, I just turned 26. Our frontal lobes develop around age 25. Kendrick has exposed Drake's entire scheme, his entire plan. Especially since people are starting to do shadow work. And start to get angelic numbers and things like that. We're starting to get more spiritually protected. We start to see people like Drake. Like, he's evil, bro. Either he's an idiot and he doesn't understand that, and that's dangerous. As the #1 artist, that's dangerous. Or he understands exactly what's going on, and he's evil, and he's doing it on purpose. So either way, he got to get the fuck on somewhere. We as black people, we got to get this motherfucker on somewhere.
trendiness, everything he did was always designed with. No matter what musical gimmick he was implementing, it was always able to be at the center of everything because it played to the factors of what garnered the most streams and engagements in this digital era of music, but he's no longer even doing this as now. Even this part of Drake's skill set feels compromised as it has vanished. And with the quality being so down the drain at this point, and Drake now feeling like this lifeless avatar that is just phoning things in to try to keep up this impression to himself that he is still doing great, which I think he also thinks is tricking the world into thinking that this beef has never hurt him, which everything else from the numbers to just the public opinion clearly disagrees with. All in all, this is just really sad at this point because we are watching an artist who was once at the center of everything lose the ability to even be the slightest bit memorable, and all of this really makes you put into perspective just how monumental this beef was, because aside from music Kendrick gave us that was great, and Drake and Kendrick's initial back and forth, the ripple effects of this beef have been much more significant than most other feuds in rap have genuinely ended up, because where in 2018, for example, after Drake vs. Pusha T, Drake came back and released one of his most successful albums ever with Scorpion, and went on to drop an array of #1 hits that summer, which definitely limited the impact and damage of what Push did on some level. For Drake now, he no longer has that same touch to just be the hit factory that he was, as his features.
And you know it messes with Drake's psyche, understanding that he's a narcissist, and he thrives on that narcissistic supply. This hurts him, man. Like, this really destroys him. You can just look at his eyes, like, you know the cliche, the eyes are the window into the soul. I don't see a lot going through his eyes. You feel me? And the key to me selling my soul, you feel me? I'm not even a Christian, I'm a Stoic. But in the sense of selling your soul, that's my sense of being evil or demonic. It's to just completely neglect your own subconscious, to neglect your own human nature, your shadow. You feel me? Like, he is so mentally scarred. He cannot do therapy. He cannot meditate. He can't do shadow work at all. Like, forget heaven. I'm talking about your flow state. Your flow state. Angelic numbers. He can't get these things. He's gone mentally. I love seeing Drake's downfall. And anybody like him. Like Drake, he's just a figure right now. He's just the elected spokesperson for the energy itself. But this energy will continue going on and on. Energy doesn't die. So there will be another Drake. But it's up to us as society to start recognizing when we see Drakes. We need to start seeing and recognizing Drakes and get rid of these motherfuckers. Straight up.
Stimulus package is gone, and the grip he had on the pulse of what is trending and he should jump on to make massive hits has vanished as well. And overall, with us being now at this point, with the Camila Cabello songs and now these two tracks all leading to the fact that at this point in time, the summer is either over for Drake and he will be taking more time off from here, or that he is going to be releasing something like Honestly Nevermind 2 in the coming weeks. Either way, with music releases like these, we have seen Drake just redefine what it means to be a loser in rap beef, and as he has failed again to shift the tides just one bit in terms of what
Bro, he has no friends. Me looking at Future right now is like, bro, he has no friends in the industry. My brothers been my brothers, and it ain't no kin to me for real. You feel me? He's manifested all that shit. Like I said, on some spiritual shit, he spoke all of this into existence. Oh well.
And what records people are streaming. All of this is only getting more pathetic on his end, and who knows how much lower he will end up sinking at this rate. And now with all that said, let me know, what do you think of these new Drake songs, and do you...
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop. They've been going crazy this year, man, especially throughout this entire Kendrick and Drake beef. So go shout them out. Link in the description. See you in the next video.